Do you want to learn how to spot someone who's about to become violent in a crowd? Well, you should, because you're missing a ton of information about threats flying around your head at any given moment. If someone's trying to amp themselves up to commit violence or some type of crazy act, especially in a crowd setting, there's a lot of crazy juice pumping through their body, like adrenaline, cortisol, dopamine.
We stopped serving breakfast at 11:30.
And those chemicals have certain physical, observable indicators that you can spot for in the crowd. I'll give you an example. You ever see someone get red in the face? Why does a human body get red in the face? If someone's running around playing basketball or soccer, hey, they're physically exerting themselves. They're trying to off-gas, cool down their body. Hey, I get it. Perfectly normal. I understand why the brain does that. But have you ever been really embarrassed or got really angry really quick and boom, you got that flash of red in the face? Why does the body do that? Your body just doesn't do stuff for no reason. It has to have a reason. Well, because it's a form of communication. You're trying to show someone or tell someone whatever you just did got me really angry or really embarrassed, and boom, you get a flash of red. All forms of subtle communication happening around you. How much are you paying attention to? 99% of the population is not paying attention to any of this because no one showed them. What about the opposite of reddening in the face? If I'm scanning a crowd and I see someone who's normal and they go white in the face or blanching, what's happening there? What I can tell you is I don't know if they're a terrorist or a criminal or about to blow up, but I can tell you that person just had a really high level fear or threat response. Your brain said, you know what? I'm so scared right now that I'm going to start pooling my blood in my organs to make sure my blood survives this impending attack. I don't even care about my legs, arms, fingers. It's pooling all that blood in your organs to keep you alive. So that's an example of someone going white in the face. So if I see that in the crowd, hey, guess what, brother? You got my full attention. Again, I don't know what's going on in your life that's that bad, but of all these people who are playing by the rules, you got my full attention. There's rules to the stuff we call life, and I'd like to teach you those rules. Look, people think I'm going to teach you like Jedi mind tricks in my training. That's not it. I'm just going to give you a little bit of common sense with some research-based behavioral indicators to look for if you're scanning for fear or threat. I will give you the ability to look at that crowd of 400 people and use the things I just taught you along with a whole bunch of other ones and sift that crowd. Ask yourself questions like, hey, what are the rules to this setting in this context? Who's playing by the rules? Who's not playing by the rules? You see what I mean? So instead of scan a big crowd of 400 people, I'm going to make that crowd way smaller and start picking out 2 or 3 indicators to focus my attention. This training, the bunch of big brains came out a while back and they did a study on this type of training. If you understand these specific behavioral indicators, you can increase your situational awareness up to 200%. 200%. I'm not an educated man. I thought it stopped at 100, but apparently it just keeps on going. So let's not talk about 200%. What if I could only increase your awareness by 100% with the stuff I teach? Would we take it? What if I could only increase your awareness by 10%, 5%, 1%? If all I could do in my training is increase your situational awareness by 1%, I bet you'd take that 1%. Look, you're going to get into some violent situation in your life. You need to hit the I believe button on that one. It's a statistical fact. It's going to happen if it already hasn't happened in your life. Time of violence shows up in front of you, pops up right in front of you, and I could gift you 60 seconds before that violent event to come up with a plan. Would we take 60 seconds, 30 seconds, 1 second? Yeah, I bet you'd take that one stupid second. You need to look at pre-event indicators of this stuff and pull on the thread. What happens when I pull on the thread long enough? That violence, that criminal act, that bad act doesn't happen. And that's a much easier way to do business in my book, instead of trying to figure out a plan when people are shooting at you. I've been there, trust me, not a great place to be. So click that link for the training and I'll load your head up with all these specific behavioral domains and I'll release you back out into the wild. I'm going to release my hunters back out in the wild to look for and spot for these specific indicators of fear or violence.